Dear students, uh, as I have already told you that we have been allowed to engage your online classes, and before that I have sent you my audio records about my future course of action. And this class is just a kind of academic engagement so that we should not be left out of touch. And I am sure that during this period you must also be preparing for your syllabus, for your courses. And a teacher is just a help, a guide. He has to tell you which way is good and which way should be avoided. In literature, we have to study under so many heads. What I want to say that we have to study genres, different genres that are prescribed for your syllabus. And poetry is also one of the most important genres of English literature. I want to discuss with you the themes and content of Matthew Arnold's Culture and Anarchy. Before I delve into it, let me tell you once again that Victorian age has produced many literary icons in the fields of novels, in the field of prose, in the fields of poetry also. If we are naming the domain of the novels, we will have a long list beginning from Dickens, Disraeli, Austen, and others. The list of poetry is no less important. We have Browning, Tennyson, Arnold, and the Rossetti's pair, the Bronte sisters, and the writers of the Oxford movement, the writers of the pre-Raphaelite movements, and so on and so forth. Every poet wants to say whatever he has developed his style or technique to say. Here, the poet that I am going to take up is Matthew Arnold, and a very sensitive man, a man who has drunk deep into the nature of life like Shakespeare and other major writers of the world. And he has lots of praise for Milton, Shakespeare, and Wordsworth also. But Wordsworth comes just after Milton and Shakespeare in his list of choice. When we're doing Matthew Arnold, we think about life, literature, culture, politics, society, religion, and what not. The very title of the work, Culture and Anarchy, is self-sufficient to see that what are the topics that he'll be taking up in this critique. The full title of Culture and Anarchy is very remarkable. It is Culture and Anarchy. Sorry for disturbance. Culture and Anarchy, an essay in political and social criticism. It simply means that away from poetry, which is a fine art, which is a fine literary art, the poet has started reflecting upon the nature and character of the society, particularly the Victorian England, the shortcomings of the people, the wayward nature of the people. Why is this life granted to us? What is the purpose of life? And how can we beautify this life, which is very important? And religion, politics, and literature appear to be, sorry for disturbance, literature, politics, and religion appear to be interwoven in Matthew Arnold. Why? Because religion is a feeling for God, and a man of culture is at the same time a religious man, and a religious man is at the same time a man of culture. But where is the difficulty? Why is there so much hue and cry in the society? It goes deep and deeper into the Victorian England of his time, that people do not think clearly and they do not act instantly. They do not learn the valuable lessons from their past, from their rich tradition. And a man who does not learn from the treasures of the past, he does not have the capacity to better his future. So to him, past, present, and future are interrelated. We cannot say that past can be seen in isolation, present can be seen in isolation, or future can be seen in isolation. And if a man wants to do better in his life, in his career, he has to read and study the ancient past, the rich cultural tradition that are enshrined in the works of the writers of the Greek and Rome. Why? To learn culture is to be able to disseminate, that is, spread what since generations people have been thinking and reflecting and experimenting. You cannot come just in the present and say that yes, I am supreme. No. You must acknowledge your debt to the past. And culture departs. People depart from culture when they start behaving in a wayward manner. And that is where anarchy creeps in. That you do not follow the set norms. You do not follow whatever has been suggested or whatever has been practiced by the geniuses of the past. And this society is nothing but a sum total of all our actions and deeds and practices. Why did Matthew Arnold attack the laws of faith? Why did Matthew Arnold attack the laws of culture? He was definitely lamenting the demise of culture, the demise of sophisticated behavior, the demise of the healthy and happy states of human beings. And we are trying to grope in dark. We are just like ignorant armies clashing by night. Why? Why you want to be ignorant armies clashing by night? Why can't you have a very clear cut or crystal clear planning for your future, for whatever you want to do? So he is a cultural critic, not in the sense that he has only told to follow culture of the past. No, human beings have to strive for the all-round development of the personality, and this is what his poetry also deals with. If you read his poem Dover Beach, if you read The Scholar Gypsy, or other representative poems that he has written, you will come to know that there is a plea, there is a criticism of life. Poetry is a criticism of life. One word, in one sentence, we can just capture what Matthew Arnold is all about. Poetry is a criticism of life. And he has a very bright future, according to him, about poetry, because this poetry is never going to die. So long as sensitive men will live in the society, so long as our race will continue, poetry shall continue to enjoy the privilege and prestige in the society, because poetry is a sustenance to life. It provides sustenance to life. If you wean yourself from poetry, it means that you are trying to cut yourself from oxygen. If oxygen is denied, will suffocate. Similarly, if poetry is snapped from the society will suffocate, and a time will come when it will meet a sad end. So, culture and anarchy is a very, very long critique. It has been divided into a few chapters, perhaps 6 chapters, and it is a very, very long critique consisting of, I think, not less than 300 pages. So generally our attempt is to read between the lines, drink deep into the lines of the essays, and then we will find that yes, each and everything has been criticized. What is civilization? What is greatness? What is progress? Civilization, greatness, and progress does not only depend upon our material possession. Material possession can be had within a single night, and it can be lost also within a single night. But the demise of greatness, the demise of culture cannot be retried. So he always encourages human beings to focus on the development of the personality, on the development of the health, on the development of the overall system of life. And as in literature he is a classicist, he is also a classist in life. So we can say that he is a hero who is guiding us to right path. He himself has had lots of experience as an inspector of his school. He was also a social personality. He used to visit as inspector of his schools in the capacity of this inspector of his schools, and he came to learn the sad and sorry states of things that were prevailing there. So he felt that until and unless we people develop our personality, we people correct our tastes, it is not going to help that we will aim for any future course of action or any future achievement. So when you are reading Matthew Arnold in mind, you have to keep in your mind that he takes up a particular idea and elaborates, and his range is vast. If you read Culture and Anarchy, you will see that right from the government to religion to politics to human life to ritual habits that we have been practicing since time immemorial has been incorporated. And it is very interesting to note that he feels that everything contributes to the development of personality. If society is not on the right track, human being cannot be on the right track. And conversely, if society is at the right track, society is progressing, and there is certain fault or fable in human mind or personality, that society will crumble overnight, because we are society. Human beings are society. We represent the society. If we are trying to develop a healthy and happy society, we will have to be men of culture. So he has divided this culture into, he has divided this society into three sections: the barbarians, the Philistines, and the populace. And he wants to underline that some section of the society is only trying to earn money and wealth and position. Some section of the society is trying to develop the culture, and some section of the society is just confined to hand and mouth. But poverty is one thing and culture is another thing. Arnold means to emphasize, wants to say that lack of poverty doesn't mean that you lack culture, that you will start living in a wayward, helter-skelter or an unsophisticated manner. No, poverty should be taken in a very, very logical spirit. If you are a man of culture, if you are a man of sophisticated temperament, poverty is not going to do you much harm, because poverty is also a result of our wrong tastes and temperaments and habits. Habits are very important. We have to focus on habits, and once we develop our habits according to Matthew Arnold, we develop the society, we develop the state, we develop the religion, we develop the politics. He is sad to know that politics has also entered within the fabrics of religion. And in today's scenario, we cannot expect either politics to be bereft of religion or religion to be bereft of politics. Each contributes to the other and each sustains other. But spiritualism is something different from being religious. To be religious is to follow certain rituals. May or may not be your spirit high there. But to be a spiritual does not necessarily consist of following the usual rituals that we follow. It is a direct link to God. Spiritualism is a condition or a state of your soul that then and there says that you are trying to identify yourself with that supreme power, and religion is just a kind of set rules and regulations that have been prescribed by a certain sect of religion. So a religious man cannot necessarily be a spiritual man, but a spiritual man has in himself all the elements of religion. So after reading Matthew Arnold, we emerge as a fresh man, as a man of sophisticated nature and temperament. And it is also very important to read his Dover Beach, because Dover Beach is regarded to be the representative poem of the poet. And not merely reading of the poem is enough, rather a few important and significant lines should be committed to memory as well. For example, love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither love, nor light, nor joy, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here as on a darkling plain, swept by confused alarm of a struggle and fight, where the ignorant armies clash by night. Very imagery has been given that the armies are ignorant and night, clashing by night. So एक तो करेला दूजे नीम चढ़ा. Armies are ignorant, and if they are ignorant, night. So this is the predicament of human society. So the predicament of human society can be captured in this very sentence of the poem. And culture and anarchy is a masterpiece of the critique of the Victorian society, and it will be very very hard task to go through the entire pages of Culture and Narji. I have just outlined the theme of it, but page by page we can go through it. Today you read 10 pages, tomorrow you can enhance it to 5 pages, and I'm sure you will not come across much of difficult words, but sometimes you will feel that some of the expression are quite tricky, so you should not stop there. You should consult dictionary, and my planning is to send you an answer to this question, and in that answer I will be able to register whatever I feel about the poem. So just wait for my answer to follow. And I also just want to talk to you face to face on Google Meet. So I have asked already in the group that the student should chalk out a particular timetable, and through that I have already sent you my link. I will give time for you to join me. Thank you very much.